and you were mad at me, and now I get
I was never mad at you. And now you understand why I was mad at you, but I was never mad at you. You don't keep secrets from people.
It just clicked. Sorry. Okay, so he told me, right? Like, I don't even remember when, in the summer. And then I didn't tell her because I didn't want to add to her stress. So I waited.
You don't get to do that. Just FYI, if you have a best friend you talk to them about it.
Yeah.
This is what best friends do, is support through it. We just do. We drop what we're doing. We're there, and we support and love. And
so I gave her a hard time because she was annoyed that I didn't tell her because I didn't want to add to her stress. And I just realized how stupid that sounds because I was annoyed at my husband for not telling me. Also,
Hi, besties. There has been more updates from Meri Brown and her friend Jenn about the current situation that Jenn and her husband are facing. And a Friday night with friends that was brief, but gave them time, at least Jenn, to share what was going on in her life with her husband, and for Meri to also share what she's doing to help Jenn. I showed a side of Meri that maybe some of the fans on Sister Wives don't see. Sometimes it's easy to come down on people or to criticize what we see on a very highly edited show. And it's also easy to criticize when you see someone on social media acting short or feeling short tempered. And obviously, when someone's like that, maybe they're not having the best day. And given the fact that this has been going on now for a couple of years, it makes a little bit more sense as far as what is going on. So, Jenn Sullivan is Meri's best friend, and her husband has a form of cancer called sarcoma. And she shared on this Friday night with friends that the first lump was found on his body over 2 years ago. And the first time that it came out, they were told that it was this very, very, very aggressive form of sarcoma. And then they went to see an oncologist who specialized in this type of cancer, and they later found out it was a different kind. But regardless, it has been extremely aggressive in his body, and he's been going through pretty significant surgeries, radiation. And she shared that her husband recently had 3 separate tumors removed, which left his leg, a huge football size amount of his calf and his leg removed. And he has not been able to walk, and he's now rehabilitating and able crutches. It's obviously taken a toll on her. And something that I thought was sweet was that Jenn shared that despite all of the stuff that she has been facing with her husband, it was actually Meri that put her entire life on hold and decided to stay in Utah instead of moving to New York. So apparently, when this all sort of kicked off and he got the diagnosis, Meri had been considering moving to New York City and exploring life in that way and traveling and, living the life she never was able to live while she was with Cody. And that was all put on pause for Jenn.
She needed to just let people support her.
Is that before or after you ruined your life for me?
I did not ruin my life for you.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Put your own happiness on hold.
I did not put my happiness on hold for you.
Okay, you guys want to know? Can I say it?
I don't care.
My best friend, I swear to God, this woman annoys the crap out of me sometimes. She decided that because my husband was diagnosed with cancer, she was going to change her entire life. She had plans. She was talking about moving to New York or going and traveling and doing all these things. And you know what she did instead? Nothing. She stayed here and took care of
I was
everything.
actually, so Doris is watching and she knows. She and I were having a conversation in New York in August. And she was like, you should come and we can do all these things and I can show you around and whatever. And it was like, I was super, super excited about it. And I got home and I found out about that. Like, I think it was like within a month that you told me, and I'm like, hey, all bets are off.
And she didn't
I'm
tell
not
me.
doing it.
I didn't know this because she kept it from me because she's a jerk. So she didn't
What we
tell
do.
me.
We keep things from each other, don't we?
Best friends keep things from each other, apparently. She didn't tell me until we were in New York in December.
We went at Christmas time, and that's
Yeah.
when I told her, I'm like, okay, I have a confession.
Actually, right after we left dinner with Doris.
With Doris.
So what's going on has been pretty overwhelming for Jenn. So it's been a really wild year. She had a non-cancerous tumor in her uterus, and she had to have a full hysterectomy. And then while she was recovering from her hysterectomy, her husband's cancer that had been gone for like 2 years came back, and it was really aggressive, and they found 2 new masses, and he went through radiation, and then once those shrank, they found a third mass, and so they had to remove it. And so he's been like unable to walk. He had his legs sort of open for over a week while it was trying to heal. They've had to do some reconstructive surgery. He can't walk yet. He's just using crutches. Amid all of that, Meri had just left Cody. She's moving back to Utah. She's getting reacquainted with friends. She's finally free for the first time in her life. She has the opportunity to do whatever she wants. And she stayed in Utah. And as hard as some people and even I can be on Meri at times, I will say this. Even if I don't always agree with her, even if I don't always like the things that she says or does, she is definitely the kind of person that shows up for the people in her life when they need her the most. And she will be there for them. She will drop everything that she can for them. It actually reminds me a lot of when she went and just dropped everything for Janelle when she found out about Garrison passing away, and went to the store and got a bunch of food and just stayed with Janelle to make sure that everything would be okay, even though relationship with Janelle is very fractured. She was there for her. And she gets a lot of hate from the other family members, and probably because of their long history and the dynamics in the family. But I'm glad that she's been able to reciprocate, because for a long, long time, Jenn was almost dropping everything in her life to be there for Meri. And I used to wonder, is Meri taking advantage of Jenn? And then it occurred to me, well, maybe they just do things for each other, right? And now you see that, she had an opportunity to go on a whole new life, and she made a completely different choice and stayed with Jenn. So one thing that they did share is that because of what's been going on with Jenn's husband, they are doing a family benefit for her. And she actually shared this on her Instagram. And if you're feeling moved or inclined to help, this is what she said. Let me tell you about Jenn. She's kind, she's mouthy, she's giving, she's supportive, she's giving. Yes, I purposely mentioned that twice, and that's just a small fraction of her incredible traits. Together, we're hella hilarious, of course, and a couple of salty birches. Jenn and her family don't deserve the deal they were dealt a couple years ago when they found out her husband had cancer. They've spent the past nearly 2 years privately fighting this really crappy battle. After multiple major surgeries for her husband, and after a recent serious bike accident her son was involved in, some of her closest friends are coming together to rally for her and support. And as can be imagined, their financial burden is only being added to daily. To ease the burden so that they can focus on fighting and healing, we're planning a fundraiser for them. The Sullivan Family Bike, Ride, and Breakfast fundraiser is happening Saturday, July 26th in Parowan, Utah, and we'd love to see you there. Every dollar raised will go directly to their mounting medical bills. And so it's coming up in a couple weeks, and it's 8 a.m. bike gear and ride and gear up, breakfast, and then at Lizzie's Heritage Inn, and $10 per person per event. And then if you want to donate directly via Venmo, you can donate via Sullivan/family 2006. Can't make it. Join us Monday, September 1st for a bake sale and raffle in Parowan. More details to come. So they're doing a couple different events. They're doing a bike ride event, and then they're also doing a bake sale. And then obviously, if you want to donate directly to Venmo, you can. Not all of us are in not all of us are in Utah, so we wouldn't be able to make it. Perron's a pretty small town, but it's really nice of Meri to use her platform this way because obviously Jen's platform is very small and Meri has 1 million people that follow her on Instagram across, and I don't know how many she's got on TikTok, but she's got a huge platform and a huge network of fans that would more than likely rally around Jenn. And, at the end of the day, I feel so bad that she has to go through this. Apparently, while her husband was going through all of these treatments, her son got into a bike accident and he broke a bunch of his bones. And it was just not something they were expecting again. And she said her son is going to be okay, but it was just another layer to an already complicated situation with her health, her husband's health, and now her son. I definitely feel so sad. But the one caveat to this was that the video allowed her to explain what the cancer is, where it's located, how it spreads, and for her husband, it would start like small little masses that looked small under the skin, and then they would just become larger and larger and larger and aggressively bigger over time. And one of them that started on his leg turned into like that needing to take out about it. She said a football size mass out of his leg. So that poor guy has been through a lot. She did explain the kind of sarcoma he has, and she said it's a liposarcoma, which is a type of cancer that develops in fat cells and can occur in various parts of the body, most commonly in the extremities and retroperitoneum. It can also spread to other parts of the body and become life-threatening if not treated. And early detection is key to the overall prognosis. And according to Cleveland Clinic, the prognosis for it depends on the type of it that they have. And she said it was the myxoid liposarcoma. And it says, for example, if you have the well-differentiated liposarcoma that hasn't spread, your surgeon may be able to remove the entire tumor. If the tumor doesn't come back, your provider may consider you cured. There are several types of liposarcomas with very different prognoses. And if you have the condition, your healthcare provider is your best for that information. There's a wide range of them. There's the myxoid liposarcoma and the differentiated liposarcoma. And myxoid is not usually as aggressive as the other forms of sarcoma, according to Cleveland Clinic. It says some tumors combine and they make cells and round cells, and it's very rare. And it can be placed, according to Cleveland Clinic, it can be placed in remission, meaning treatment eliminates all signs and symptoms of the myxoid liposarcoma, but it may come back. Overall, it says 92% of people with myxoid liposarcoma were alive 5 years after diagnosis. After 12 years, survival rate drops to 55%. It's important to remember that survival rates are estimates. And right now, she said what they're going to continue to do is just follow up with him. He has a small little mass in his lungs that they're going to continue to follow and scan and keep track of. And then he has to make sure that he keeps track of any little bumps that show up on his skin. And if they do, it can come back and be removed. Now, he went through radiation and then surgery. I don't know that he's gone through chemotherapy. There's a lot of different ways that they can treat it. It's the second most common type of liposarcoma, and it's 30% of all liposarcomas. And they most commonly affect people ages 35 to 55. So it's going to be a long journey for them, and it's nothing that's going to be done in a day, and it might be for life. And it's just a lot for her to take on and raise 2 kids and have to deal with work and all of that. So if you feel like helping, she shared that on her Instagram. You can watch the full video of the Friday Night with Friends where she gives you all the details about what she's been going through on Meri's Instagram. It may also be on Meri's Facebook page or TikTok. I don't know if she goes live on her TikTok. TikTok doesn't save the lives unless you post them. So, yeah, it's a lot for her to go through right now. And hopefully, it's his recovery continues to go well and that there isn't a recurrence that's significant and that can't be managed. My heart goes out to Meri and Jenn, and watching Meri break down about Jenn and her husband was just so hard to watch. So, let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed and click the bell so you never miss a video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye, besties.